Hi, I'm Steven, the DM of the Faeforge Academy. Welcome to our first episode. This is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition podcast set at a school of magic and crafting. There are a few small sound hiccups that we are aware of and are working on improving as we go forward. We hope you enjoy the show. In the northernmost continent of Avastria lies a tree, old, beautiful, and grown from magic. It is one with the castle that surrounds it, the Faeforge Academy, a building filled with wonder and mystery, with countless secrets waiting to be unlocked and countless more lost to time. Only those with the ability to hear the magic of the world calling to them can find their way. And even then, they can still be lost. Follow us to the Faeforge Academy. Ariadne. Light flashes around you, swirling magic, some familiar, some strange, guide your body. There's green, blue, and brown. The smell of damp wood and grass fill your senses. The light is carrying you along as though you are a leaf on a mighty river, taking you to some destination, to this Faeforge Academy. The magic hurtles you forward and stops suddenly as you find yourself in the trunk of a large, strange tree. As you step out, you find yourself in a grove of majestic, ancient oak trees. The leaves of the forest are a symphony of colors. South to the left of you, there's the traditional orange, yellow, and reds of fall, and you watch as they transition into some other trees of greens, of fuchsias, and violets. There is a heavy mist in the air as well, thick and wet. As you step further from the trunk, the portal you entered through closes, and you are left in the quiet wilds. As you look around, you see the path and a small sign. One arrow pointing south to a town called Varen Hollow, and another pointing north with no words, only a seal. The same seal as was given to you on receiving your acceptance letter to the Faeforge Academy. The outline of a leaf with a tree growing on the inside. What do you do?
So I just popped in from the desert into a very wooded area that I have not seen before. I'm a little surprised that this country actually has woods. I haven't seen them yet, but it's a nice familiar environment. And pull my cloak around myself a little tighter because the air is colder, more damp. And I proceed north.
Okay, as you follow this path north towards the Faeforge Academy, you hear the sound of magic rushing, similar to what you just experienced. And from another tree along this similar path, you see a young, maybe preteen, teen black boy step forward from a tree. And Michael, why don't you describe Beskey for us as he steps from this tree?
Beskey is probably, he's a 5'4". He looks like a young black preteen or teen. He has these burnt orange robes with a crimson, black to crimson fading cloak. And his accents, a lot of his accents on his robe and on the color of his glasses is rose gold. And he has some black trimmings on his robes as well. He has some family marks on his cheeks, and he has some dreads that he wears. Pretty relaxed, but kind of pulled back in a way to kind of clear up his face. And that's what you see here in front of you. And then I guess, Adelaide, if you want to describe what your character looks like, because my character is seeing your character.
Yes, Ariadne is pretty tall, about 5'8". She's wearing a mostly white dress that kind of fades into blue at the neck and the bottom hem. Almost skims the floor, white boots. She has very long, very wavy, almost curly, dark brown hair that goes to about her waist. That's kind of pulled up into a little bun in the back of her head. She's very dark skin, very, very pretty brown golden eyes, and her skin is covered in golden vitiligo that kind of glows a little bit. She's got a little faint shimmer around her, and I smile pretty widely when I look at you, and hello there. Didn't expect to meet anybody so soon.
Hey, yeah. I'm glad to see someone else here. I didn't want to walk this path alone, and it seems like I found some company. You look pretty cool. You have that cool glow about you, and it kind of matches some of the stuff I'm wearing, which that's pretty neat.
Oh, you look very fancy. It's nice to meet. I'm Ariadne. Do you don't teach here, do you?
No, that'd be kind of silly. I mean, I'm pretty young. That'd be cool, though. I could see that. Maybe in a couple years.
Well, I don't know.
Maybe like 2-3 years. We'll see. But yeah, my name is Beskey. My name is Beskey Nevering. Yeah, these fancy robes they're a gift. They're nice.
They look expensive.
Yeah, I know some people. I have some people that are very nice to me. But yeah, you look very stunning as well.
Well, my clothes were a gift too. Fine. Well, they burned off when I arrived, so I had to get new ones. And
the tree burned your clothes off?
No, not this. It's a long story.
Okay, that's fine. I accept that. That's totally cool. Anyway, you look wonderful, and I guess it'd be kind of nice to walk this path with a friend if you want to be friends. You don't have to be, but I think it'd be pretty cool.
No, I would like that very much. You seem very nice. I don't really know my way around here.
Yeah.
Is this the right way?
Yeah, I think so. They told me that this is the right way, and from everything they described, it looks like we're headed in the right direction.
All right, so as you two kind of get to know one another a little bit better.
Awkwardly fumble a friendship together.
Khoz, Sepia, and Ashryn, you three have experienced a similar magical portal through these trees, ending up in this strange magical forest. Though your paths have all been kind of in slightly different directions, the path you have followed has led you to this small pool that seems like there's a short waterfall, maybe 10 to 12 feet. It's more trickling than actually flowing, leading to this pool that ends up outside of the ripples remaining from the water. It's fairly still. There's a few rocks and plants about it, all very whatever you imagine Fae to be, Fae plants. And you've come to this point, and your path has stopped. There's no clear direction forward, but kind of as all three of you at different points look back, you see there's 5 or 6 different paths that lead here. And Khoz, you were the first one to arrive. Sepia, you were second. Ashryn, you were third. But you are the only 3 that you see in this forest with no clear direction, except for the sign that you followed. What do you do?
And so we've been walking individually, alone, until this moment, and now we're in a clearing, and there's a pool here, beautiful waterfall, and magical fate plants, and we're sort of not alone for the first time since walking through this tree portal.
Yep, exactly. So why don't you describe yourselves as you narrate what you're doing?
Cool. So Sepia, I guess, got there first. So essentially, getting to this crossroads where there's so many different directions, she just went into the area she was most naturally at home in, which is the pond off to the side. So she just is a girl about 14 years old, pretty thin, pretty dirty. She's got like disheveled brown hair, loose clothing that looks like it was probably a fine make, if you can tell through the layers of muck that are just coating it. She wades into the pond and submerges herself just so her eyes are visible, and kind of starts like wading around slowly and looking for like any kind of sign of what the right direction might be, or just relaxing in the pool after a little bit.
I love it.
So when Khoz walks up to this clearing, he's already like playing, and it's very much the kind of like, I'm not scared to be walking alone. That's why I'm singing loud and alone to myself. He's very much like trying to whistle in the dark away the I just walked through a tree portal, and every once in a while you might catch like a grumble of like frickin' fairies teleporting me through trees. Not happy about it. And when he sees Sepia there kind of like swimming around, there's this moment where he's kind of like, are you some kind of fairy folk? Do I have to like answer a riddle from you? My name is Khoz, and I am here for the Faeforge Academy. Who are you, guardian of the pond?
Oh, yep, that's me too. I'm here for the Faeforge Academy, and she reaches and pulls out a letter that is soaking wet. Seal is broken. It's a little bit dirty. Yeah, my parents sent me. They said, just keep walking down this trail. It seems like I don't really know which way we're supposed to go. I do like the pond. I could be a guardian of the pond. That could be fun. That could be different.
And you kind of like stammers for a moment. You see he's a dwarf. He's very jauntily dressed. A bit darker skin. He's got a very big beard. Kind of like presents as a young man. But there's kind of like as he's like eyeing Sepia in the pool there, he's kind of like, okay, fellow student, got it. And I guess as we're kind of, he looks around. I mean, if Ashryn is also here at the clearing.
Yeah, you see Ashryn approaching, and she's kind of dragging her feet. She's not necessarily excited, looks excited to be here. As she kind of comes maybe around the bend, you see that she's pretty tall. She's 5'11". She has long, super curly black hair that's a little bit wild. Pale skin that's maybe a little like gray and ashen looking, lots of freckles. She has golden eyes and a septum piercing, tattoos down the right side of her arm. And you can see like the tattoos might be covering a bit of a burn on her arm. And well, I heard singing, so I think you guys are headed to this. Yep, that's what I heard.
And here comes a scary tall lady. Is she someone we have to also deal with?
I heard that you guys are students. I'm a student too.
That's a relief.
Do you always do that? Is that something you always do?
Only when I'm nervous.
I'm Ashryn.
Khoz, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So as you guys kind of have this conversation, that's what you walk up to Ariadne and Beskey. So the three of you, as you're having this conversation, you see a shorter, young black boy and a middle height Aasimar walk up to you, kind of in the same pond area.
Hey, Ariadne, more friends, I think.
Yeah, I think so. You're a musician?
Oh, yes. Pleasure to meet you. And he kind of puts his hand out and kind of walks up. Khoz Forgeheart, students at Faeforge Academy, and he kind of pulls out his acceptance letter. Unlike Sepia's, his is like folded nicely and like has like the seal on it. Like you can tell like he opened it without really breaking the seal, so you can still kind of fold it back. And he kind of like shows like that he has his letter as a way of saying, like, yes, see, I also belong here.
I have mine too. And I pull mine out and it has like a golden ribbon kind of on it. And I'm taking care to kind of block like some sort of wax stamping on it. And it's like pretty pristine and elegant. I'm like, I have my invitation too. Are we all students here? And I like bundle it up really methodically and put it back in my room.
I will say, as you kind of have shown your letters, you would all kind of notice as other people show theirs, they're slightly different. There is, some of you have picture of something, some of you have more words like handwritten, but they're all a little bit different. So, and as you're introducing yourself and showing your letters, Sepia, you would be the first to notice this. The water starts to ripple into the center of the pond. And you notice as you're kind of lounging in this pond water, it drops a little bit as the water starts to form into a shape that looks humanoid. At first it's very unclear. It's very watery. And as you watch this, the water seems to form into the shape of a humanoid person. And at first, you can see it's murky and looks like the pond water, but it starts to you start to see colors form, skin tones form, and it almost looks like there's a human talking inside, almost like there's just a layer of water in front of a human. This person is about 6 feet tall, at least according to the water. Deep black skin, long gray dreadlocks tied in like a ponytail that go down almost to like their lower back. Nice, but not what's the right word?
Gaudy?
Yeah, not nice, but not gaudy clothing. Some robes, nice pants, nice shoes. He has a gold chain around his neck and a few bracelets that are all gold as well. And he says, in the voice that's kind of warbled as it comes through this water, you've all made it to the Faeforge Academy. Welcome to your first test. Some of you...
This pond is the Faeforge Academy? Great!
The test is this, young Sepia. Not everyone can make it to the Faeforge Academy. You have to hear its call. To do that, you experience the magic of this world around you. And he kind of gestures to this forest around. There's magic here that needs to be tended, grown, and listened for. You must find a key. Really, you must make a key. And he pulls out of his pocket a necklace. As you look at it, the chain is like weaved together material. It's not like a nice chain or anything like that. The medallion on the bottom of it is about 3 inches across in diameter in a circle. And on it is a hummingbird. And it looks as though this hummingbird is getting honey from a flower. There's some lights almost shining from its wings. The hummingbird has this purplish color. And as he pulls it out, there's almost, Khoz, you're the one who would be able to identify it quickest. There's a melody that kind of just whispers in the back of your mind as he pulls it out. He says, I'm going to hold this out for about 10 seconds. Take it in, make it, and find your way to the academy. And then we can really start your training.
In this 10 seconds, do I notice anything about this elemental or like pond form that seems familiar in any way?
Why don't you roll an Arcana check? First roll.
Uh-oh, don't mess this up, Michael.
You got it.
Oh, boy.
Big money, no whammies.
17.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
You have, in your times in the palace in Nairene, you have seen actually your father and mother communicate kind of through this way. Your parents in their room have a small almost fountain that when your father is at the academy, this is how they talk to one another.
Got it. Okay. Got it. Cool.
So he holds it out and says, "This forest is dangerous. The magic is real. But if the talents that you have shown us in the world are what we believe them to be, you will not have a problem finding what you need. You have everything you need now." And he puts it away. And my apologies, I should have introduced myself. I am Professor Trayvonin Dorvaleth, and I am in charge of all admissions at Faeforge Academy. And I hope to see you very soon. And then the water just falls in a splash in the puddle.
That was really cool. Do you think he can teach us how to do that? I would love to have a water form.
Probably. I think it's possible.
Anything can be done with the right amount of learning.
Well, I think that's the proper pond guardian there.
So we saw a hummingbird, right, on that medallion or something? Trying to get honey from a flower?
With flecks of light coming off its wingtips. And there was a tune behind it. And
I didn't hear it. You heard something?
Yeah, something like this, and Khoz starts kind of like tuning up. Like you're looking at his instrument, and it's definitely a ukulele, right? But it's got like lots of like weird little like gears and sprockets on it. It doesn't look like dwarven make at all. It almost looks maybe more like eclectic than that. But it still looks very, very sturdy. And he starts like kind of like tuning parts of it, like kind of like fixing up. But no, it was a little more like this, and he kind of just starts like mucking around with this instrument, trying to get that very precise melody, that same tone that he heard when that amulet was presented.
Yeah. So as you start kind of fiddling around and finding pieces of that melody, you almost feel an energy as you play. You can't quite tie it all together. There's something missing besides just the song.
There's more than that. There was more than that. Something's wrong with it.
Well, I mean, I guess like all melodies and tunes are vibrations, right? So maybe we find something with vibrations? Or a hummingbird? I don't know.
Something about the bird, and there was that chain that it was on. We gotta try to work together to make that same amulet. And it wasn't just the amulet. There was more to it than that.
I'm going to look around and try to find like a good piece of wood, and I can carve the hummingbird into the wood.
Yeah, you can just kind of, as you look around, there's a few pieces of like this. It's not like people are regularly picking up pieces of fallen wood from this forest. You can find a small piece. And I will say also, when you saw that hummingbird, Ashryn, the medallion looked exactly like the picture that was on your letter that you received.
So part of my crafting class, I have eidetic enterprise, which means I can craft something exactly the way I've seen it within the past week. So I get to crafting, and then I present this medallion to them that looks exactly like what they were holding.
Mm-hmm. Why don't you roll an Arcana check real quick, and you can add your proficiency bonus to that.
Sure, let me do that. 8.
Yeah. So as you start carving it, there's something missing from it. You're carving it. You kind of even have a spark fly from one of your fingers, and you squelch that down and keep carving it. You make a very good replica of what you saw, though.
I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something too.
That spark that I saw like fly off of her finger while she was carving it. Is it still there? Is it like an ember that's like burning right now on the ground? Did it float away, or was it just like a moment?
Yeah, it was just a moment. It just lit and kind of burned off.
Well, I don't know about you, but I got these with my letter, and I have a map and a seal.
Which you all got the map and the seal. As you see the letter, are you showing them the letter as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hers just has. You're not exactly sure. They just look like a bunch of paint splotches.
These paint splashes, what colors are they?
They're various shades of black.
Various shades of black.
Mm-hmm. Black, gray scaled, I guess would be the better way to say that. Black to gray.
Well, as I see these black to gray splotches on Ariadne's letter, I pull out my own. I say, mine didn't have that at all. Mine had this, and he reads out the poem that was written on his letter. In the darkest night, the stars speak in lights. When the song takes flight, your path will be made bright. For the forest lives where the magic gives you a fire and song, and the bird flies along. And he kind of like points the bird to the bird, flies along. So, oh, bird. It's a bird. Hummingbird? It's a bird. What is strange though about those, the very first line, in the darkest night, night is spelled with a K.
What time of day is it? Is it still daytime?
It's duskish.
That's
Sun setting. Mm-hmm. There's a little orange in the sky. As you look up, Ariadne, you see some stars. They're unfamiliar. Their location feels wrong in your soul. But that's where they are.
Does it feel wrong in Ariadne and everyone's soul?
Specifically Ariadne's.
I do have a question. Is Beskey's soul settled? Because that is pretty important for him.
Say that one more time.
Is my soul settled? Because if I look up and I don't see something specific, then I might freak out.
No, you're Beskey would not have the same feeling.
Okay.
I think that my letter had some kind of ferns on it and said something about a tree. Did your guys say anything about a tree?
Yeah. Mine said something about placing some sort of seal in the marked tree.
Which that was how you all got here. I should.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I realized that's one of those things that's just in my head that obviously you should know because it's in my mind.
Yeah. Okay. But there were definitely some really cool ferns drawn on my letter. Are there any ferns around the clearing?
You kind of where you are
In the pond.
you see that there's some really small ones
Mhm.
growing, but not kind of like what you can see in the picture, because the picture is these full grown plants.
Yeah.
Khoz is intently showing everyone the poem.
I think mine has some flowers on it. Ashryn, does it look similar to the one that you have?
Mine has a flower on it, but then the hummingbird is eating out, pollinating or eating out of the flower.
Okay.
They're different flowers, but as you all are investigating this, I'm going to kind of give you a couple pieces that you would all know about. Well, a couple of you. So Beskey, as you look at that, you recognize that it's a flower and a berry, and you recognize that berry is something that Raj used in his restaurant for some of his sweetest desserts, and you very specifically remember that if you picked it up or it spilled on your clothes, you could not get that out without magic. It just left this purple stain on whatever it was, but it's really sweet and juicy. Has a little bit of tartness to it. Sepia, you recognize this kind of fern as an asher frond. You've just kind of, as you've been curious about plants, you've more read about them than actually seen them. They're not very common. But those are kind of the two pieces you pick out for the two of you. So what are we doing?
So one of the because we're using this Witch plus Craft system for crafting, we pick out these, and we're all tier 1. Pick out 2 techniques, and I picked out Green Thumb as one of my techniques because I thought as a luthier, as someone who's very focused on making musical instruments, I want to know the different types of woods and plants that I use to make instruments out of. Now I don't know how well that would extend to these different flowers and ferns that we're looking for. But it seems like that's what we're looking for. Maybe Khoz would start to kind of look around the clearing, around the pond, maybe even venture along the paths, because there's these 5 or 6 paths leading from the clearing. See if you can find different plants that match this fern and this flower that we see on Sepia and Beskey's letters.
I'll say you can roll a nature check, and you can add your proficiency bonus to it.
Well, I'm already proficient in nature, so I'll take it as is. Woo woo! Double my proficiency. Well then. That would make it a grand total love you.
Hey, nice. You beat the DC of 10.
Is it? Thanks for the expertise.
Yeah, you're welcome. So as you know that kind of as you and Sepia have kind of looked at this plant and talked a little bit, it only grows in dark bodies of water. So something that's in either a cave or something like that. But from where you are, this waterfall does have a stream that kind of goes away, so you could follow that perhaps as a possibility. But in the locale kind of around you and just a little bit down the paths. Doesn't seem like you'll find anything you need.
Well, I'm gonna summon my familiar, who is a little toad that just hops out of some of the palm fronds, like on the side of the river. Yeah, and Sepia starts talking to the toad in toad speak, and basically asks him to swim, I guess. So there's waterfall that is darkness behind it, and then the river continues downward, right?
The waterfall, excuse me, I should have described this a little better. It's more like a stream that's trickling down like a wall of rocks. So there's not like a cave behind the waterfall.
Okay. So she's going to ask her familiar to swim down river and just keep going and see if he can find any of these ferns. Okay.
So he kind of goes off. Is there anything else anybody else wants to be doing while... Does your familiar have a name?
No, probably not right now.
Okay, in the future.
Sepia asked him what his name was, and he was like, "What's a name?"
Yeah,
I'll think about it.
So you guys just hear like, and then this little frog kind of hops off into the water and swims off.
Did you say that we had seen the berries, or that those weren't where we were either?
You haven't seen any yet. Beskey recognizes them and has eaten them in the past.
Okay.
And knows they stain lots of things. And to remind you, it's a very similar shade to the purple that was on the hummingbird.
Oh.
Are we just gonna gloss over that she was talking to a toad? Okay. All right, never mind.
That was my friend.
I mean, I don't like to point out when people are awkward like me.
I mean, Khoz, it seems to check out. I mean, I think we found her in the pond, so...
I'm sorry, do you feel excluded? I can teach you how to talk, Toad.
No.
You know what? Yes, I'll take you up on that.
You could sing to toads, Khoz.
No.
That'd be so cool.
I don't want to hear singing in Toad.
They really enjoy music. Yeah, so Sepia will just start cycling through and be like, this is how you say food. Ribbit. This is how you say water. Ribbit. And do like some basic communication, like top 10 words you need to talk to Toad.
I'm repeating every word, like after everything that you say, and just repeating it just in wonderment. Wow.
Ariadne, I need you to make a perception check.
Sure, I can do that.
And while she does that, I'm going to double tap my staff onto the ground and cast light at the top of my staff.
Okay.
It's getting dark.
I'll let you make that. As he does that, I'll let you roll it with advantage then.
I first nat 20 of the game. Nat 20.
Hey!
Heyo, 24.
Yeah, professional stream.
So as you guys are kind of trying to figure this out, looking around, looking for various plants, Ariadne, you see kind of out of the corner of your eye another creature, kind of the first real living being, maybe 100 feet away from you, just kind of peeking out from behind a tree. You notice that they have a deer body and a humanoid torso and up, and antlers. They kind of have a purplish sheen to their skin and their fur as well. And they're just kind of watching, and as you kind of glance and see them and they make eye contact, they kind of step behind the tree as quickly as they can.
Kind of nudge Beskey. Hey.
Yeah.
There's somebody over there.
Really?
Yeah, shh.
Oh, okay.
Be subtle about it.
Okay, sure. I'm going to use the one out of my 2 spell slots because we're locked to cast Unseen Servant.
Okay.
So you'll see me do some sort of hand movements, and then I'm going to touch the ground. You'll see a faint glow, and then the glow will go away, and then you kind of just see footsteps pitter-pattering. And I'm going to say to the Unseen Servant, hey, friend, can you check out who that other person is out there and tell us what you see? And I'll send the Unseen Servant to kind of maybe check out what's going on over there.
Yeah. The Unseen Servant wanders off. You see little branches crack and stuff in the leaves.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Fantastic.
And as it gets there, do you feel like you would have you would actually feel a connection to your unseen servant?
I feel like yes, just because the way I cast things.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. I would feel like I would have some sort of connection with it.
What's his name? Is it Jeeves? Yeah, Jeeves.
No, his name's not Jeeves. His name is Willard.
So as you send Willard forward, the creature kind of sticks its head back again. Their antlers glow, and you feel Willard disappear.
Oh.
The creature steps out very elegantly in their movements and looks directly at you, Ariadne, and says, You are from the stars, are you not?
How did you know?
There's an aura about you. Your skin, your countenance. You are a blessing here.
I don't think so, but thank you.
You are trying to go to the school?
Yes. Do you know the way?
Those who hear can know the way.
Well, I think we can all hear.
You just see right now. You see Beskey looking at you, and you might have not noticed it now, but I am. What is the word? Literally and figuratively, starry-eyed, looking at you right now. So,
it's been a long time since your people have been here. We have stories of people coming from the stars like you.
I don't know about that. I think I'm the first. Maybe different places.
Perhaps.
I haven't met anybody else like me here.
I know someone who. Well, I've never seen her, but I know someone who's like you.
Well, if you've never seen her, how do you know she's real?
She talks to me.
Okay. What does she say?
She just says really positive stuff, really.
Well, that's a plus.
Yeah,
You said you don't... Well, she's from where I am.
I think.
Well, I mean... well, I said it was it's a long story. I'm not from this world. I come from a plane called Aludra, and, I messed up. I was doing magic,
Oh, well,
and I ended up here.
sounds like lots of folks make mistakes, and that's okay. We're happy to have you.
Well, I mean, it's nice to be here, but it's it's... I kind of have a job back home.
Yeah, it sounds like we do right now, though. And I turn towards the creature. So how can Ariadne help us out? Can I help out?
Well, let me say to you, Ariadne is your name?
Yes.
I don't believe in my experience that magic is accident. That you are somewhere where you don't belong. So I hope you can be here now. And not trying to find somewhere else, always. Not that finding home is bad, but here can be home as well.
Well, that's true.
But stars are what you know, right?
Generally speaking, yes, but not currently, no.
These stars are just in different spots. You may even know some of them. If you really listen, if you really look. And what I know about the Academy is they give you everything you need to get there. But you all should hurry. There are more in these woods they're more sinister than I, if you will.
Well, this has been ominous.
I hope to see you soon.
No, go back to the part about the dangerous creatures living in the woods.
Hold up.
You all are on your own journey, and you will find what you need to know. But Ariadne of the stars, I hope to see you again. And this creature looks at you and gallops off.
Khoz takes a few half-hearted steps after him, saying, "Wait, no! What about the date? No." Is it getting darker at this point?
It is. There's the orange that was a large layer in the sky is now just a small sliver. And more stars are coming out.
You also see from my staff, the light spell isn't kind of just like a dull hum. It's just like little flickers of stars coming in and out, like tiny ones.
I like your magic. Well, he said to listen to them, which, I mean, I kind of do in a sense, but it's a little different than that. I plop down and I draw out I have a component pouch as well, but I have my arcane focus that is in the shape of a constellation that I just kind of bring out. I don't have much magic that I think will help me. But I cast light as well on myself, which makes my marks glow. And I am just kind of sitting down with my arcane focus that helps me focus, literally. And I'm just meditating and waiting for something to happen.
As you kind of hold that arcane focus and you said you cast light on yourself, your focus starts to glow, and you look up and you see the stars almost make small lines down to Earth. Only certain ones, not every single one.
Give me a pen. It's in my bag.
I search through her bag and give her her pen.
I'm assuming you're writing down which stars are kind of doing this.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like scribbling, like almost blindly is what I generally do. And
as you do that for a couple, maybe a minute or two, and you pull it out, you see a very distinct pattern. There's 3 geometric shapes that all converge in one spot. But what you notice most is each of these dots, kind of as you're thinking back, they look like the lights that were shining out of that hummingbird's wings.
And Khoz murmurs to himself the 2 lines from the poem that was written on his acceptance letter. In the darkest night, the stars speak in lights.
I'm going to hand the medallion to Ariadne.
yeah, I was going to ask for it, and I'm going to kind of position it up where I'm looking through it.
Yeah, I'm going to, as Khoz said that, I'm going to double tap my staff onto the ground and turn off my light spell.
Okay. So as that happens, and you look up, Ariadne, and Beskey's light goes dark, and you're the only light source besides these lights coming down. And you look up through this hummingbird. These lights almost sear into this hummingbird. As you look back at the medallion, at those same spots that mirror, as you're looking closer, they mirror some of the patterns of one of the shades of gray on your letter, and you kind of feel a little bit more of a connection with this little medallion and this forest, and you start to hear. You remember Khoz saying he heard a melody. You almost hear a melody in your heart, as opposed to with your ears. Almost like you're in harmony with whatever you're doing.
Khoz is going to play that melody out on his instrument that he hears in his heart.
I hear it. Not you, but you too. I glance down at the letter and kind of read it over the poem. I can't really do fire magic. I kind of look awkwardly at Ember. She kind of looks like she's made of lava. So.
I mean, I can do fire magic, but I don't know. Am I supposed to light it on fire?
I don't know. We could try it.
I mean, I guess we can just make another one if we need to. So.
Just set up smoke. Try again.
So I'm going to hold out my hands, and like they kind of turn, my fingers turn like dark, like ash, and then they kind of like burn like you would like coals do. And I'll hold it in my hand, see if anything happens, and like the yellow and the reds and oranges. And then if nothing happens, I'll turn my fingers into actual flames, or flames from my fingers.
So as you start to do the embering, you feel like it just needs a little bit more, and as those flames burst around it, It doesn't consume it. You watch the flames go from your fingers, burst around it, kind of blacken the edges of everything, and jump into those lights, like those spots that Ariadne just formed in the wings. And you, as you're looking at it, that melody similar to Ariadne, you feel a connection with it as you're convinced that it's wing fluttered for a second.
Oh, well, something happened.
What happened?
You don't see it? It kind of moved.
Oh.
It looked like the bird was flying there for just a moment.
And I am going to need all of you to make a perception check real quick.
16.
Nat 20.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
19.
And what'd you get, Ariadne?
6.
6? All right. Well, you guys got a nat 20 in that group check, so it's going to work out fine. As you do that, and it flutters a little bit, you hear this melody, and you feel that magic kind of pulse out. You also, Ashryn, hear a screech that's discordant to the melody. This is with your ears. This is not like in your soul or anything. It sounds a ways away, but it's kind of a that you hear.
Like a monster or a person screaming?
It's probably two. You rolled a nat 20. Not a person.
Did you guys hear that?
Hear what?
Nope.
There's something, I think, in the forest, and that thing was talking and said that there were scary things might be in the forest, and I think we might need to hurry.
Okay. I mean, it's the best we got.
What did it sound like?
Like a screech, like a screech scream.
Maybe it was another student. Maybe they're in trouble.
Oh, no.
I don't think it was a student.
Oh.
Sounds like some kind of horrible forest creature.
It sounds scary, so I think we should all go maybe together, if that sounds okay with everyone here.
As I recall, there is a toad on a mission.
Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, so kind of as that happens, the toad comes back to you,
Yes.
Sepia, and kind of slops on your leg, just kind of with one of its little
As
frog
toads
hands.
do. Yeah.
and kind of starts croaking at you, and indicates that up the stream a ways. It was gone for about half an hour or so.
Yeah.
So process of elimination, 15 minutes that direction. That there was a small cave that had some of these fronds that you could use.
Hey everyone, we found the fronds. 15 minutes away in a cave. I love caves.
I'm going to hand the medallion over to Sepia.
Oh boy. Okay. This is a lot of responsibility. I got this.
You're with friends. We're sharing the responsibility.
Yeah.
I'm going to practice one of the few words I know in Toad with Toad.
Just looks at you with very large eyes.
So Toad kind of hops off, and as you get to this cave, it's not super deep, but you see in the waters kind of. You have dark vision, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You see some of these fronds sticking out of the water, but kind of as you approach this little offshoot of the stream, there are also 3 small fey creatures just kind of lounging on some mushrooms and toadstools. They've got like orangish clothing color, little wings. They're maybe 9 inches tall. They're just sitting there. One of them throws a rock in the water and splashes. You hear, "This place is so boring. Nothing fun to do here." As you guys approach closer, one of them turns and looks and says, you see him kind of like elbow one of the other ones, throws a rock, hits it in the head. "Hey, what was that for?" "Look, we have some new toys coming this way." And as you approach, they say, Hey, what are you all doing here?"
Trying to find the academy?
Yeah.
Good luck.
What is that supposed to mean?
What do you want it to mean?
Not bad things.
Yeah, sure. Y'all aren't from here.
No.
No.
This is a fun place.
I thought you just said it was boring.
Well, it's boring when you're by yourself, but now, do something for us.
That seemed awfully bossy.
He's a musician.
Wait. What do you want from us? That's a weird question. Normally, when people want things from me, I normally ask them what it is.
Fun.
Fun for who?
Us. Why would... Who else would it be for?
I mean, we can have fun too. I just thought it would be mutually fun.
What do you like to do?
We'll probably find out in a little while. What are you doing? What are you doing here?
I'm going to insight check these, what I'm affectionately going to refer to in the narrative as these little creeps.
Sure.
I'm going to insight check these little creeps to kind of get an idea of what their impression of fun is. And I'm rolling hot tonight. That is another 11. Hitting those DC 10s.
You're not sure, except that it's weird. Whatever they're doing, they're just kind of off.
Vibe check.
Oh, so now Khoz now knows what I know.
Exactly. What are you doing here, anyways?
Well, we already told you.
Yeah, we're looking for the academy.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah.
they make you do stuff, right? You're doing something. What are you doing here? Here, this is kind of our sauna. It's where we hang out and
Oh,
relax.
sauna.
Yeah,
You don't like company?
I don't not like company.
Well, you seem to not like company now.
Well, you guys are kind of boring.
What?
Wow.
You've only just met us.
You know, we've been very rude. Let me introduce myself. My name is Khoz. I have a bard. And you are? And I motion to them.
I'm Nixie. You don't need to know. You don't need to know their names.
And Nixie, you and your friends here are, this is your son. We'd like to get into the cave behind you. Is that all right?
Yeah.
I don't like that. Whatever that is.
I don't need an inside check for that one. Not for that smile. You wouldn't happen to know who lives in that cave, would you?
Yeah.
Who lives in the cave?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
What if we were to make a bit of a trade? Maybe we could have a little bit of fun, make your life more interesting, and you can tell us, maybe try to remember who lives in that cave.
Now I'm listening.
You should play them a song.
Khoz is going to try to gauge his audience here, and he'll pull out his ukulele. He's going to play a song that is generally reviled and not well loved in most taverns because it's very bawdy. It is, of course, the Sausage Maker's Daughter. But he and it's very much the kind of song where it's like little Miss Amy, when she made us, she always did nip and tuck. But when she was going down to the tavern, she always liked to, hey, now the sausage.
So as you're doing that, one of them...
As he's playing, actually, I'm going to pull out my Mabira, or what Americans would call a kalimba, out of my waist pocket, and I'll play along with them as best as I can.
So as y'all are doing it, one of them starts to kind of perk up and dance around. They laugh at all the appropriate jokes, and then one of them kind of waves something with their hands. You feel a spark, and two of your strings snap and kind of snap at your fingers, and they all just lose it. Like they are laughing so hard, kind of as it snaps, like cuts your finger a little bit on the strings, and they are. That's fun. So nothing lives in the cave.
Cool.
Khoz is like very visibly angry and not even trying to hide it. It's like, you little, and he immediately goes to like chase after them, but it's very ineffective.
At that, they fly away very quickly, just laughing away as they go.
Khoz like gets to the highest like little bit of rocks that he can and starts like shaking his fist at them as they fly away.
Those guys are jerks.
Filthy fairies!
So, you heard a scream earlier, Ashryn, right? Do you think we're going at the right direction?
Well, I'm still listening for it, and I haven't heard it again.
Okay. Let's... I think we should try and find which place it went. Do you know what direction it came from?
It was sort of south of where you were, kind of down that path.
Not this direction.
Opposite, basically the opposite direction of where you are.
Behind us.
So what are we doing? You got the plants in the little cave. Fairies flew away. A scream, a berry to find.
We know we're looking for these ferns that grow in dark places, dark wet places.
Yeah, let's go to the cave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you all actually you have to wade in. I'm assuming Sepia, you lead the way in that.
Yeah.
Kind of you get up to your knees in pond scum and muck. And it's particularly those of you who aren't Sepia, as you look at this plant, there's like mud around it. It's dirty. It almost like has like pus coming off of it. It's kind of a gross plant. But Sepia, you know in your kind of as you've read about things that you like, there's two things about this plant. One, the fibers of the branches are incredibly soft and strong. And two, if the leaves are hit or pulled in a bad way, they release a toxin that kills a lot of things around it. So that's what you got. That's where you are. So if you want to harvest some, you'll probably need to make a nature check of some sort.
I'm going to bardically inspire you as I see, as I understand these plants are very dangerous. So here's that D6. I'm going to pass it right here.
Sepia, is this like what you like to do?
Yeah, I like to do it. I think being good at it and liking to do it are very different things, but I will try my best to do this thing that
I think it's very
doing.
cool. I'm going to put my hand on your shoulder and cast guidance.
Thank you.
Have some buffs.
I'm really enjoying the power of friendship that we're having right now. I think that's great.
If you get hurt, I can help you out.
Okay. This is just part of going to the school, right?
I think so.
I'm going to use that bardic inspiration. 14.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to kind of push aside some of these branches.
15.
Oh, 15, even better. You pull it out, and you're able to get these, like, kind of the branch part of these ferns, and you're even able to kind of start stripping it down and getting to those soft but strong fibers. As you kind of toss it aside, you all kind of see as it plops onto some other plants, the leaves that she's not using, and you watch as this kind of powder puffs out, and in about a 3-foot radius, everything just starts to decay instantly. But you all avoided it, and so that's good.
Yay!
Friendship.
Power of friendship versus necrotic damage.
That's the real lesson here. It's about our individual abilities.
And as that's happening, you hear Hus, as your dear friend reappears with a small bag of something. They see you kind of in this cave. This cave is only maybe 5 feet shallow. It's not really a cave, if you would. It's more of a small crevice. And they toss this kind of to the group, and you see in it are these berries. And this being says, "Whatever you're doing, you need to do it fast, and you need to get out of here."
Oh,
Is that because of the screeching?
Yes, because of the screeching.
okay.
Be safe. Go fast. Follow the melodies, and they run.
I use light because I haven't been using light at this point because I'm a human. So I use light onto my staff, and I try and look into the berries that he just gave us.
Yeah, and they're whether this is a test that's common for the Faeforge Academy or something. Somehow this creature knew what you needed.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a whole bag of these berries. The bag on the inside is stained, as some of them have been kind of smushed together.
Okay, so I would know it's the thing that I need.
Mhm.
All right, I'm gonna get I'm gonna cast Mage Hand and start grabbing the medallion from Sepia because I think she was the last person to have it.
Yes.
And I'm gonna use Mage Hand to kind of smash it into the thing so I don't get my hand stained.
Okay. So as you kind of smash it onto this bird, that flutter that Ashryn saw, you see the bird start to move, almost like it's cracking out of a statue, more or less. You all see as this purplish magical light bursts out from this medallion, and this bird appears and flies off, leaving this like luminescent trail as it goes north.
We did it.
The other thing is you see kind of in these ponds, you see something start to move as there is a creature that appears that has these like mushrooms on it. They're kind of hunched over. Their face has no nose. It's just like this flat, large-headed face, pale skin, long claws, and just kind of it looks at you and screeches, almost like this magic like woke it up from some sort of slumber. You hear in the distance what Ashryn heard earlier, this loud screeching sound. And what you can see in the distance as you look back is you see just the silhouette of something sitting on a horse. This silhouette has almost like branches on it, off of its shoulders, its head, even its arms. You can't make out color necessarily, except there's a yellow flicker as the thing that it's sitting on has the outline of black and a mane and tail of fire. And with that, we're going to end the first episode of the Faeforge Academy.
Hey.
Thanks for listening to the first episode of the Faeforge Academy. If you enjoyed the show, please leave us a 5-star rating and review for a new podcast that is worth more than its weight in gold. We also have a Patreon if you wanted to get additional content like character journals, sneak peeks, Ask the Cast sessions, and more. I also want to say thanks to this amazing cast, so why don't y'all let the people know how to find you?
Yeah, I'm Adelaide Gardner. As always, Adelaide on Twitter.
Oh yeah, cool. Me next. I'm Michael Kritz on Twitter and various other places like Twitch and Instagram and such. Yeah, really excited to be part of this awesome cast of people here. So yeah.
Sup? Yes, I'm Emily JEA Smith on Twitter and pretty much everywhere else.
Hey, Ian Gould, Game of Science on Twitter. Happy to be here. Nothing to plug right now. Great first and second episode.
Hey, I'm Stonefly_Kai on Instagram and Twitter. Thanks, Steven, for an awesome first few episodes. That was great.
Awesome. Thank you all for playing. And I'm Steven. I'm the bad DM. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at Faeforge Academy to stay up to date on releases, live streams, anything the cast is doing, and all that fun stuff. So thanks for listening again, and we'll see you on the internet. Theme and background music by Dave Cole of the Four Orbs. To find more music like this, search for D. Cole Music on YouTube. Additional sound effects found at zapsplat.com. The Faeforge Academy is proud to be a part of the Fundamentals Podcast Network. For more great podcasts and other fun content, go to thefundamentals.com.
can't do a podcast. That's sure not. Oh,
Oh, there he is. Hi,
Craig is
Craig.
here.
Now we'll record.
Yeah. So we're gonna do
Back
that
it up.
again.
So, lesson 1, stream.
Well, now we rehearsed
Don't
it,
do
so-
that.
Yeah. Luckily there was like no dice rolled or anything like
Oh,
that.
no dice rolled, right?
All right.
Quick run through folks. What's happening?
What a dummy.
One more time with feeling.
That's right.
Yep. So you down
You need to
there.
get one of those like movie things.
It sounds scary, so I think we should all go maybe together, if that sounds okay with everyone here.
While you guys do that, I gotta go to the bathroom like so bad.
Yes.
Well, you guys travel along.
Kind of hoof. What's the word? Hoof something. Hoof
Clops.
Is it hoof
Flops.
Hoof
Flops.
flops.
Flop, flop.
Flops.
The clopping of
Coconuts. Here's the
hooves.
sound of coconuts.